Alright, welcome to part 2 of the tutorial. This time we're going to cover input and output. So what we're going to do, we're going to start off with printing something, and the most common thing to print in programming, and it's in every single tutorial you ever do, is going hello world. Oh, helps if we open Python first. Print hello world. However, not that interesting. So what we're going to do is start with some input. And input's good because we can get the data from the user and start playing around with it. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go name is equal to input, enter your name. And we're doing a space between this semicolon bit and the quotation marks because it will put a space in our program like that. However, if we didn't do that, it would be right next to the name bit, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute. So we'll enter our name and we'll go Ben, and then we'll go test is equal to input blah blah. So it doesn't really look that pretty. So now we have a name. We've got some data in name. So how do we print out that to the console with the hello world? Well, that's pretty simple. So what we'll do is hello world, comma name. So that's good. But what happens if we want to put a full stop afterwards? Print hello world, comma name, comma. That doesn't really look grammatically correct, does it? So here's what we can do in that case. We can go print hello world, comma name, comma full stop, comma sep is equal to, but that still doesn't look right. So previously, and I did this for a reason, I mentioned that we needed to add a space in between this bit here. The sep is automatically it's a parameter that's included in Python and the print statements, that's automatically one space. However, we can adjust that, which we've just done, to include no spaces. But that means we actually have to think a bit about how we're going to structure our strings. So all we do is this. Print hello world, and then we include a space. I realise I've misspelled hello, but you get the idea. Comma sep is equal to, and that makes it a lot easier. So now we're going to get the user's age from them. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to enter our own age first. So we have the age is 23. We're going to print name, comma age. So with strings, what we can do is we're going to enter our last name. So input into your last name. And I'm not going to put my real last name. Potter. So what we can do is we can add strings together. So we can go, to try to find the name plus last. What about name plus last plus age? There. This is what I wanted to show. We've got a traceback area which will come through lots in Python, and don't be don't feel nervous about it or anything, because you'll just learn to look through and figure it out. So what we've got is a type error. Must be string, not int. So we can see that the type of the age is an integer. However, the type of name is a string. And we can't add these together. So what we can do is we can go strage for string age is equal to string of age, and then we can go and we can see it's equal to 23. Name plus last plus plus strage. There. So I do want to have a look at these errors quickly, because I think they're important to understand. So there's only really one bit you want to be able to, well, two bits. First of all, file stdin stands for standard input. Although I probably got that completely wrong now. I'm pretty sure it stands for that. But you don't really need to understand that too much. You just need to understand the type error and read that and understand it. If you're having trouble understanding it, if you just Google the problem, you generally have the answers to whatever your problem is. You know? But you don't want to have to continuously Google stuff. You want to be able to understand things on your own. And it'll tell us what line it's on. And it's on line 1 because we're doing it in the console. But if we had, multiple lines, then obviously it would be a bit different. So what we can do is go do this. Print hi, comma, name, comma, last, comma, you are, comma, str age, comma, years old. And that's how we generally do strings. It's pretty easy and you'll get the hang of it. Sometimes it requires a lot of thinking when you're just starting out, but it's pretty easy. So what happens if we want to convert something to convert a float to a string? Well, that's simple. So we'll go number is equal to 42.4. And we're going to check, is it a float? Because that's what we want to know. So what we can do is we can go string number. So that's, done it, but that only converts in that line if you do it like that. So what we want to be able to do is do it in a new variable, and we can go type, and then we can see it's a string. We'll print new, and there we can see it's in 42.4. However, that you've got to remember that's not the number 42.4. That's just a group of characters 4, 2, point, and 4. So it's 4 characters. So what if we want to convert something to an integer? Well, we'll go text, or we'll actually do it num is equal to str of new. And we can go num and we can see, nope, I did that wrong, sorry. There, we've converted it back from a string to a float again. And we can also do this with integers and whatever. You just need to know the data type. However, of course, some data types we can't do it with. So what if we try and convert hi? New is equal to int of num. We have a value error because it's just text. So that's pretty much how all that works. And I realized this was a longer one and there's a lot covered, but it's pretty simple once you get into it. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.